It's a beautiful day and you're welcome to a fresh edition of Headlines Nigeria on NITV. Reaching you from our Abuja studios in Nigeria, I am Grace Ukot. We'll take a look at the headlines for today. This day newspaper, electoral reform, CNPP fall to Jonathan's Facebook voyage of discovery. Conference of Nigeria Political Party CNPP has asked the President Goodluck Jonathan to drop the idea of setting up a Facebook account as his contribution to the debate for electoral reform, and opined that the President should rather submit the 3 bills therein in the Uwais report as executive bills to the National Assembly for adoption. 1 year, not enough to meet targets, says Jonathan. President Goodluck Jonathan has said the remaining 12 months of his administration is such a short time to achieve set targets. He has also asked Nigerians to pray for him, saying, "Without your prayers, I will be doomed. Without the Almighty God, I will be doomed." 2011, Nigerians peak competence over zoning, says poll. As the controversy over the zoning formula of the ruling People's Democratic Party is determining who becomes its presidential candidate in 2011 gathers momentum, a survey has shown that a cross-section of Nigerians are opposed to the arrangement. They instead prefer that perceived competence be the deciding factor. Nigeria's biggest gas project to take off in Bayelsa. Shell Petroleum Development Company is set to inaugurate Nigeria's biggest integrated oil and gas project in Baran Ubie, Bayelsa State. The facility has the capacity to produce 1 billion standard cubic feet of gas and more than 70,000 barrels of oil per day. Gunmen shoot governorship aspirant, kidnap mother. A People's Democratic Party governorship aspirant in the 2011 poll in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Inyekong Udonwa, narrowly escaped death over the weekend when unknown gunmen shot him at his residence in Uyo, the state capital. Punch newspaper, federal government to spend 10 billion naira on post-amnesty program. The federal government has set aside 10 billion naira for the implementation of the post-amnesty program for the repentant militants in the Niger Delta. The government has also admitted fraud in the registration and documentation of the ex-militants by the defunct Presidential Committee on Disarmament, Rehabilitation and Reintegration of Militants, headed by the former Minister of Defense, retired Major General Godwin Abbey. PHCN to refund customers for poor services. The Power Holding Company of Nigeria will henceforth be made to refund money collected for services not provided to electricity consumers. This decision was taken at the 3rd meeting of the Forum of the Metering Committee of the Electricity Industry in Enugu on Friday, which was organized by the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission. Minister showcases plans at World Health Summit. As the 63rd World Health Assembly opens today at the Palais des Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, Nigeria is billed to showcase her advancements with the National Health Strategic Development Plan that is designed to enable the country achieve the Millennium Development Goals on health. Now moving over to Guardian newspaper, budget faces execution hitches. Implementation of the 2010 federal budget passed last April by the executive arm of government has run into a hitch. First, the aggregate figures of the document assigned by President Goodluck Jonathan do not add up. The Guardian learned at the weekend that the budget provision has about 200 billion naira above the 4.6 trillion naira appropriation bill signed into law by the President. And now moving over to politics news, next newspaper says PDP coalition mobilizes Nigerians for Jonathan 2011 project. The coordinator of PDP Coalition 2011, Adepoju Adekunle, says it has begun mobilization to formally draft President Goodluck Jonathan into the 2011 presidential race. This day newspaper, Ogbulafor's successor, Ekwueme meeting called off. A meeting of the People's Democratic Party politicians from the Southeast, convened by former Vice President Dr. Alex Ekwueme, to select a successor to former National Chairman of the party, Prince Vincent Ogbulafor, has been called off. Sources said the gathering was called off because the size of participants was considered too unwieldy and would make it difficult to reach a consensus on a replacement. Punch newspaper, Ogbulafo's successor, PDP may dump zoning. Zoning may play no role in the selection of a successor to the ousted People's Democratic Party chairman, Chief Vincent Ogbulafo, in the aftermath of Ogbulafo's decision to relinquish his position. There have been agitations by some chieftains of the party that the new party chairman should not emerge from the south. Those behind the move argue that this is necessary to forestall a situation where both the president and the party chairman would be from the same part of the country. Nigerian Compass, Sokoto 2011, Wamako's court case stalls aspiration. Political horse trading is gradually gathering momentum in Sokoto State as the 2011 general elections appear on the horizon. Ambitious politicians across the state are now coming out of their hiding, just as they have started the process of renewing their contacts in a bid to ensure the realization of their dreams. And business news, Vanguard newspaper, capital market operator drags SEC DG to court. Chief Livinus Ezemegbu, a stakeholder in the capital market, has dragged the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ms. Arunma Ote, before a federal high court sitting in Abuja, asking the court to interpret the provisions of the Investment and Security Act, ISA 2007, as it relates to the qualifications and appointment to the position of SEC DG. Punch newspaper, Jimoh Ibrahim, GTB, clash over Virgin Nigeria. There are strong indications that the Nikon Group, the new owner of Virgin Nigeria Airways Limited, and Guaranty Trust Bank PLC, one of its creditors, will soon be in court over the recent acquisition of controlling stake in the heavily indebted airline. Shell moves to stop gas flaring in Niger Delta. The Shell Petroleum Development Company said on Sunday at the Gbaran Ubie Integrated Oil and Gas Project in Bayelsa State would reduce gas flaring in the state and other parts of the Niger Delta. The project manager, SPDC, Mr. Okechukwu Elechi, disclosed this while announcing the commencement of phased inauguration of the gas gathering project that commenced in 2007. Airport road expansion will go on despite probe, Minister. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Senator Bala Mohammed, has said that the expansion of the Abuja Airport Road will go on despite the probe into the award of its contract by the House of Representatives. This day newspaper, federal government unveils e-business website. Federal government over the weekend launched its own homegrown e-business search engine called Business Index Nigeria, BIN, that would henceforth speedily facilitate the country's e-commerce activities within and outside the country. And on sports news, Guardian newspaper, CAF switches Nations Cup to odd years. The Africa Nations Cup tournament will be staged in odd years from 2013. This means that 2 editions of the African football flagship event will be staged within a year, as Gabon and Equatorial Guinea co-host it in 2011, followed by Libya 12 months later. This means that the 2 editions of the African football flagship event will be staged within a year, as Gabon and Equatorial Guinea co-host it in 2012, followed by Libya 12 months later. This day newspaper, BO orders mandatory MRI tests for athletes. The Minister of Sports and Chairman, National Sports Commission, Alhaji Ibrahim Issa Bio, has directed that the magnetic resonance imaging MRI test be compulsorily run in all age group sports competitions involving the National Sports Commission from now on. The Sun newspaper, Yekini shuns offer to be NFF's ambassador to South Africa. The first Nigerian player to score at the World Cup and the Super Eagles' former striker Rashidi Yekini has spurned an offer from Nigeria Football Federation for an all-expense-paid trip to next month's World Cup in South Africa as an ambassador. 46-year-old Yekini, according to an NFF official, has not responded to the NFF's offer, just as he did when he was approached to be engaged as an official of one of the national teams. Lagabak says fitness experience will determine final list. Super Eagles technical advisor Las Lagabak has played down his earlier semi-final target at next month's 2010 World Cup finals promised at his unveiling, as he's insisting on 100% devotion and fitness of the players to progress at the Mundial. And with this, we've come to the end of this interesting edition of Headlines Nigeria. Thanks for logging on.